that here.
That's right. You got to bring that here, and here we are. And
Whoa,
it must
Tuesday,
be early,
early Tuesday.
early in the building because you know what the NBA season snuck up on us left-handed right here at RM Desk, which is this right now. You know what I mean? My ubiquitous Code D is in the building. They caught me out there, Yada Bear. My ubiquitous Code D is in the building. Yada Bear's in the house. We are down in Sports Talk. We are here. We are in the building. We are live and direct. It's Tuesday. Happy NBA season, happy New Year, and all that good stuff
Yes.
right there. That's why we jumping on a little early so we could talk some basketball because we were supposed to get that NBA preview, but you know life happens. But here we are, getting into it. And as you all know, Yada Bears with the Sixers all day, hard body karate. So I'm gonna let her give her she's gonna give her insight, talk about the Sixers, and then we're gonna go around the league for about an hour until we get ready to set things off for real, for real. So, Brasky, what's goody? How you feel? What it look like?
I feel good. Happy that the NBA is here. It's always beautiful when sort of a new season comes around, and new season, same problems here in Philly. It's I'm gonna tell you something. It's hard being a Philadelphia sports fan right now. The NBA season is starting, but guess who's not playing? Joel Embiid and Paul George. They are not playing for the season opener or any games this week. So, which is wild to me. Like I seen, a couple games ago, Paul George, a little hyperextended his knee a little. They shut him down. But Joel hasn't played all preseason. He played in the Olympics some, but he had to play all preseason, and then all of a sudden he's not even playing in the season opener. So once again, we're starting the season off on some BS already. You know,
Yeah,
they had us all hype and charge. Bringing in Paul George. Oh, Joel's playing in the Olympics. I didn't even want this man to play in the Olympics because I know how his body is. And then he's talking about, oh, well, he lost about 25 pounds. That sounds great. But here we go again. You're not even on the court
and the
when
season
the
didn't even
season
start.
opens.
You're not even on the court,
Yeah,
right?
you're already missing games, and then you telling us a couple weeks ago, oh, you feel like you're not going to be playing back to backs for the rest of the season or for the rest of your career. All right, that's fine. But what about the season opener? What
Hold up.
about tomorrow? You
Why
know,
why is that fine that your man that you're paying all this money to is not playing or can't play or won't play back to backs? The Sixers have 15 back to backs, right?
and
And
but to me, truthfully, I don't understand why the NBA has back to backs anyway. I mean, I gotta be honest. I don't understand why they have back to backs. Back to backs to me is like Thursday night football. I hate Thursday night football. You know, I can see if it was 182 games like in baseball, but it's not. It's
it's
not. And
82 games, right?
I get it. Like to me, back to backs is always a disadvantage with the visiting team anyway because you're
Bosky,
traveling.
Bosky. I
But
know,
I
I
get it,
know it's a
but
political
this my thing
season
though.
and
But it,
all that.
but
Finish
this
your
my
thought.
thing. Teams has players have not been playing back to backs like that for the past 10 to 12 years. The only thing that's different with him, he's just expressing it out in the opening.
Why you
We
what?
have
Why?
seen
What's the difference of playing a game on Tuesday, playing on Wednesday, and then don't play again until Saturday? What's the deal? What's the difference? Like I'm not. And how often the Sixers got 50? We're talking about the Sixers right now. The Sixers have
yeah.
15 back to backs. I'm not saying Joel Embiid should play every single one of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you play at least, you don't even play out, you might feel healthy. You might feel like you contribute 25 to 30 minutes out there on the floor. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you say that you couldn't play? I mean, Andre Drummond's role is going to be way more important for you guys. I think that the Sixers floor as far as the rebounding in the games that Joel Embiid don't play is going to be even more crucial now. And I think that when you talk about your Sixers, when Embiid is healthy and engaged, we already know he's one of the top three players in the league, and he
Mm-hmm.
gets into the post and he demands the ball. I think when he's feeling less than 100%, he'll probably more likely like drift out on the perimeter and shoot jumpers and whatnot. But
Hmm.
you guys have big test, man. You got the Bucks tomorrow night, and then you got to go to Indiana over the weekend.
Yeah,
Um, I'm just saying, your record was 5-6 with Embiid and 5-9 with Adam in regards to playing, Eastern Conference playoff teams last year. So
yeah. I just
having
don't
him,
understand how we starting the season off without him. Like I can understand Paul George,
mhm.
and and to me
I
with Paul
told you
George,
Paul George wasn't going to play opening night.
yeah, and
You knew that already.
but with me with Paul George, I need to know the extent of this injury. Is it a bone bruise? Is it is it some tissue damage? Like what is? They don't want to give us a clear cut answer to that question. But I'm just it's just disappointment once again. And us here in Philadelphia, we're just tired and we're used to the disappointment. And it's a shame that we had to start off the season on a disappointing note.
Yeah, I dig it. I mean, the Knicks right now having to watch the Celtics raise their banner at the TD Garden in Boston on opening night.
Yep,
Salute to the Boston Celtics. They did what they had to do, and they did it the way they were supposed to do it. They ran through everybody.
yes it
So
did.
give them their props. But enough about that. My
Hmm.
New York Knicks, another season, riding out till June. Um, went 4-1 in the preseason. Again, I think that the last 10 months we got what? Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges via trade. And now that Julius Randle is in Minnesota now, Jalen Brunson can really become the centerpiece, which he already was already. Um, I think that the team played the most preseason minutes together, the starting lineup for most of any preseason lineup in the league.
Hmm.
They had one great game against the Wizards, but I think that the total games together they look kind of regular. They didn't really do nothing outstanding. Again, I'm looking forward to the Knicks, doing some things, improving on last year, which says a lot. Um, I think that the coach is going to be scrutinized even more this season. Thibodeau, he's got a little cachet now, but that comes via the play on the court, and his moves are going to be, looked at a little bit more under a microscope as the season progresses along. Karl Anthony Towns is going to make it easier on him, absolutely. If he can, do what he's supposed to do and shed that soft label because now the season is starting. Now he's going to have to bang out. So again, if he's ready to do what he needs to do, I see the Knicks as being a finals team. Why can't the Knicks win the East? Why not? You know what I mean? So again, I think that the confidence that I have in my team going into this season, and only if Joel Embiid was like healthy, it would be so dope to see how that Eastern Conference race would pan out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So again, I just think that the Knicks are going to do what they do. What team you want to talk about as far as starting off the season? Um, and we're doing our little preview before we start our show of the NBA
Well,
on opening night.
I mean, we can start out with the defending champs, the Boston Celtics. Right now they got their pre-game festivities happening where they're receiving their ring, number 18. Number 18. What we're looking forward to with them this season. They're going to try to repeat. We know that
Yeah.
repeating in the NBA is extremely tough. Um, they got Porzingis back. He seems to be healthy. Um, another year with Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Drew Holiday. That core group. Um, they they look good, in the preseason, but we know what Boston gives. We seen this team. It's the same team, and right now they on the top of the mountain, and everybody else is looking up to them, and they looking down on us.
Yeah, I think that The Celtics, they were dominating the first 4 games of the preseason. Porzingis is out. Al Horford only played in the finale. I think that when you talk about watching with the Celtics over this first couple of weeks of the season, the focus, right? Let me know how we talk about. Well, you got the ring now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's number two. You're gonna play like you didn't win last year and take your foot off the gas. The next 25 weeks is going to tell it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that we'll see early if some complacency sets in as far as the Boston Celtics are concerned. Um, this game right here against the Knicks and their new situation might get their attention from the door. You know what I mean? But the Celtics schedule gets kind of weak after that. 6 of their next 7 games are on the road, and 5 of
Mm-hmm.
them of those 6 against teams that had losing records. So they're playing 27 of their first 31 games within the Eastern Conference. So that should get them off to a nice advantage if they could take advantage of playing the teams inside the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the Boston Celtics, you got to give them some burn because they're the defending champs and things of that
That's
nature.
right.
But
Yeah.
again, we watch out for them, and again, we watch Jason Tatum now. He's got his ring. He doesn't have to hear people talk about how he doesn't have a ring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we'll see how that works out as far as the season goes. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing going to work out as far as Boston now having complacency set in, and it's going to be easy to have that because again they can just say like, okay, we could take our foot off the gas and we got our ring last year, but nah, you know what I mean. The good teams, keep forward and try to get 2. You know what I mean? Go back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see early.
Yeah.
One team I want to talk about in the West is Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
I think they lost it in the first round of the playoffs last year, right? With that
Mm-hmm.
those 3 guys that they had. But I think that when you watch the Phoenix Suns with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, they're healthy,
Yes.
right? And I think that's a much more different scenario than it was at this point last year when they didn't play together until December 13th.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the Suns, do their thing when they're on the court. I think they're a more dynamic team. We all know that when they're on the court together. The Suns were going to play 19 in their first 23 games against teams that finished above 500. So we're going to see what they made of from the
Oh,
door.
so yeah, so they definitely get in tested straight out the
Right.
gate.
We're going to see what they're made of from the door. And um, they got the 2 games in LA, and then they got the home opener on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you talk about a team like the Phoenix Suns, again, it's yet to be determined. We'll see. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
again, when they Kevin Durant, everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna do this, do that, and do the third," and they didn't really do nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That and we're gonna have a full season with
Mm,
all 3 of them.
right, right. That's right.
A full season. So
How-
Kevin Durant coming off of a really good Olympic performance, and Devin
Mhm,
Booker.
mhm.
Um, what we seen from Devin Booker in the Olympics is his defense. So if he can bring that over to the league, I think we may see a totally different Phoenix Sun team and a totally different Devin Booker. Plus, they have a new coach. They got a new coach over there. We should see a different system. Hopefully, we see a different result, and maybe we see them, make a good playoff push. But the West, the West is tight. The West is going. The West is tougher right now. Another team I want to talk about from the West is the Dallas Mavericks.
Right,
You know,
absolutely.
them coming off of this fantastic season. Nobody except for one person said, "Hey, Dallas."
And who is that one person? Pray tell.
I'm not pointing any fingers, at myself that
Yeah,
called that Dallas
that's right.
will make it to the finals, you know, and they did. I strongly believe if Luca was healthy, they probably would have won it. If Luca was healthy, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. That now they gotta They bring in some help. They brought in Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors here to help with the outside shooting. Um, if he can stay healthy, if Luka can stay healthy, and Kyrie, I don't see why that team wouldn't make it back out the West again. You got another year with the they send him the young guy. He looked good. You still got what is his name? Tim Hardaway Jr. there. I mean,
Derek Lively.
yeah. Lively. Another year with him. Like I said, you bring in Clay. I mean, if Clay can get them at least 15 points for row, that's not really asking much, because this is not the Clay Thompson from the past. We have to now accept that the injuries have taken a real toll on his two-way performance.
Right.
But don't get it twisted. He can still light you up from behind the arc if he catch fire. So, like I said, if he can give you at least 15 points a game, that will help Dallas out tremendously. And I can see them making it back to the finals. I am really big on Dallas. I like Dallas. And I say this here, I'm looking at Luka for winning MVP this year.
I mean, when you talk about Dallas, you mentioned the offense. I'm going to look at how they're going to defend with Klay Thompson and Luka and Kyrie on the floor together. It's going to be really interested to see who's
Mm-hmm.
guarding Bradley Beal and Devin Booker at the start of the game. Against the Phoenix Suns on Saturday. Because defensively now we're going to look at Clay as being a liability. You know what I mean? Or we're going to just kind of like hope that he can shoot his way out of the defensive situation that are going to definitely take place. Running up and down the court in the West. So again, offensively, that's going to be a thing. But the Mavericks are going to play 7 of their first 9 games at home. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So again, I think that they'll get a break, they'll get some rest between some games, and they'll be at home. So that'll be a
Yes.
good thing for them. You know. So yeah, we doing a little NBA preview right now. We're jumping all over the place. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Um, the Cleveland Cavaliers are one of those teams that you kind of expect for them to take the next level. But they really don't, because of either immaturity or lack of experience. Um, I think that when you talk about this team right here, they're at their best when Dean Wade's on the floor. I think when you have Mobley and Allen in the game, you got Max Strus, but he's going to be out for more than a month. Wade should see some extra playing time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're a team that hopefully, they can, do some things. They're a threat. Trust and believe. You know what I mean? They're a threat. I think that if they could just improve on what they did last year and get some major contributions from their big men, they could do a thing. What about the Indiana Pacers? What are you feeling about the Indiana Pacers?
Well, before I go for the Pacers, hold on. With Cleveland, I don't see them as a threat. I see them as the same team they have been for the past 3 seasons.
Yeah,
They haven't really improved, and they haven't really gotten worse. They haven't gotten better. They haven't gotten worse. It's like the middle of the pack. They
right.
like
They
plateau,
need their best players to play better together, right?
or they need to make a change, because
Mm.
the Donovan Mitchell and what's his name?
Jared Allen.
No,
Okay.
no,
Darius Garland.
Jared Garland. It's not working.
Hmm.
You once again, when I see the Cleveland Cavaliers, I see first round out.
Okay.
That's what I see. Now, when we talk about the Pacers, again, another team that didn't really make any changes in the offseason. Come in with the same team. You got you got you got Halliburton.
Pascal Siakam.
Siakam. Now you have a full year with Siakam.
Hmm.
You got Halliburton. Halliburton been out in Vegas wilding. If y'all seen what I seen on the internet, he wilding. Um, you still got Miles Turner. You
Yep.
know, you still got the same guys there. So we'll see if the a full season with Siakam and Halliburton will elevate them. It definitely helped them in the playoffs. That they had a nice little run, but they ran out of gas at the end. Again, injuries. Halliburton got hurt. Um, he also another guy who played in the Olympics that really didn't play as much. Um, but I guess getting that experience over there, um, teaming up with the other superstars, so maybe he learned something they could bring to the Pacers. So I see them, like how I said about Cleveland, as to being the same type of team. They maybe second round. Who knows? But I don't see no real big change for them. They're still the same team that we seen last year. You know.
Um, they did make a surprise trip to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like you said earlier, they're back for
Yeah.
a full season with Pascal Siakam, with Tyrese Halliburton. Their defense was not good in the preseason. Even though they did experiment with some zone, they played more zone possessions in the preseason than they did all last season.
Yeah.
They might have some more depth because the dude Mathurin, he's back from injury.
Yeah.
James Wiseman, you know what I mean? He got from Golden State. I mean, from Golden State, or was it Detroit?
Both
Wiseman.
from Golden State, Detroit. Now
Okay.
here, I mean, how
Um,
I don't know.
I think I think that the Pacers, something to watch is if they're willing to allow more 3 pointers to make protecting the rim a greater priority for them. The
Mhm.
last time the Pacers were at Madison Square Garden, they shot 67.1% from the floor.
Yeah.
In Game 7,
Yeah.
um, the Knicks play the Pacers on Friday. And this will be, like we said, the beginning of the season is going to be kind of be able to tell it because in the end,
Hmm.
it has to play a stretch of 7 straight games against teams that have winning seasons last year. So,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about with them. Um, where are we at with the Milwaukee Bucks?
Well, again, the Bucks is kind of in a similar situation as the Sixers, where Chris Middleton is not starting the season. Now we get a full season with Giannis and Dame and Doc Rivers. Um,
Mhm.
like I said, Chris Middleton not starting the season with them. He's injured. He's still recovering from his injury last season. Um, it's really going to be. I think Giannis is kind of like on the hot seat, because
Mm.
he's been saying things like, if we don't win a championship this year, maybe I'll get traded. So that's telling me, like, me reading in between the lines is telling me that, well, if he can't win another chip in Milwaukee with Dame and these guys, he's looking for a way out.
Mm.
That's what, and me personally, I could be reading too much into it, but when you make a comment like that, that's kind of showing me that you're looking for a way out. So your way out is, oh, we don't win a championship. Maybe you go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe you get bounced in the second round. But the point that you made was, if you don't win a championship, then you're leaving. Then I feel like he want to go. You know,
I
I feel like
mean,
he's looking for a way out.
Milwaukee's depth is going to definitely be tested early, and Middleton is going to be out and miss some time. Um, so they're going to definitely need more from what's the dude named Pat Connaughton. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But he's only shot like 34% from three in the last 2 years. So again, the Bucks are Eastern Conference heavy schedule, early 28 or 29 in the first 32 games against the East. which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Well,
Um,
it's because of that stupid tournament. That stupid in season tournament, what starts November 18th or
mm,
somewhere around that time. So
I forgot all about that. It's
yeah,
the
so second
year
that's
of
why
that. I
when you look
forgot
at
all
the
about it.
schedules, that's why
Mm-hmm.
it's heavy Eastern Conference, heavy Western Conference, heavy in division games
Mm-hmm.
because of that in season tournament. Once again, you know.
Mm. And
So 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 now,
how do you feel about opening the season up against Milwaukee for the third straight year?
yeah, I don't like it, especially because it we will be playing with Maxi and our bench players.
Mm-hmm.
Against against Milwaukee, against someone in our division. You know, these games matter, especially like us. Trying to make the playoffs. Like when I look at the East, I see Boston, Milwaukee, New York, the Sixers, Pacers, and you always got to throw in Miami in no particular order. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the teams, that we are battling for position, in the playoffs. Because when I look at like our teams, I look at it as the regular season we're fighting for a playoff position. Where we going to end up seeding wise, and playing these games against heavy Eastern Conference opponents, playoff team opponents, starting the season with no Joel and no Paul Pierce. I mean, no Paul George. It kills me. So it makes it tougher for us. It's like now we are starting from the bottom and climbing our way back up top instead of being on even ground. So to me, Milwaukee has an advantage. They have an advantage than more of advantage than Boston or New York or the Pacers because they're playing the Sixers team without their stars. That's like if Boston was playing New York tonight without Bronson and 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 Bridges. It'd be like, oh wow, it's a disadvantage. They got more of an advantage. That's how I look at it with Milwaukee. So we'll see, man. Um, let's talk about the Nuggets.
Okay.
The Nuggets out here giving they didn't pay to everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
anybody who was able to get some money, they didn't gave. They gave Jamal Murray some money. Then they turned around a couple of days ago, gave Aaron Gordon a nice little bag. You know,
Can't leave out Aaron Gordon.
yeah, gave Aaron Gordon a nice little bag. I ain't never thought I would see Aaron
And
Gordon
all
get
that money that they was giving these guys could have been used to help keep uh KCP.
exactly because he was your best defender, right? You're your best wing defender out there. Um, 3 and D guy. I feel like 3 and D guys don't really get that much respect. He always defends like um their best player out in the wing, and when you need it, he can give you a couple of buckets here. But they paid Jamal, who has been we could say injury prone because he's been injured for the past three out of four, like 3 seasons. I think the season that they won the chip was one of the only seasons that he wasn't really that he didn't really miss that much time,
Right.
you know, besides the bubble. Um, then you give Aaron Gordon some money.
They got Russell Westbrook out
You
there
got
doing his
Westbrook
thing.
there,
Expect him, push the pace a little bit. You know what I
yeah.
mean? With
I,
him.
I gotta see I gotta see how that's gonna work out, with all of them out there together. Um, him, Russ and Joker on the floor. Joker plays a very slow pace. Russ,
Nice to
kind
push
of
it.
he like to push the ball. So, how you feel about that?
Um, I think that when you have those two situations mixed together, I think you got to expect the pace to be pushed. They averaged more than 112 possessions in 48 minutes when he played, so a lot of time having the ball on the offensive end. Um, they're always going to be questioned about the Nuggets' depth. I think something to watch in particular early with the Denver Nuggets is what you spoke on earlier, Browski, Jamal Murray.
Hmm.
He was, he was rough in the postseason for Denver, and the Olympics was even crazier. So again,
Oh my God, I know.
so,
I didn't even because he was nowhere to be found.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
he
he was missing
invisible.
action. But I think that what's going to be important too is if Christian Braun can replace what KCP gave them on both ends of the court. You know what
That's
I
gonna be
mean?
tough.
So I think that when you talk about the Denver Nuggets, they're just another a team that um, recent champion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But nobody really said, "Oh, okay, we're going to respect the Denver Nuggets as being a contender." They're going to have to, prove it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, we want to say or mention anything about the Golden State Warriors.
Well, losing Clay is gonna be different. This is a new Golden State Warriors team. Um, it's like they replaced Clay with Buddy Hill. You saw a lot
Mm.
of that during preseason. All of a sudden, he knows how to shoot the ball.
That could be the best, the greatest backcourt we ever seen.
I mean, the way they looked in the preseason, and when I was watching them, I said, "Wow!" I said, "Buddy, what happened? What happened when you came to Philly? It's like you forgot how to shoot in Philly, but as soon as you get on the court with Steph, now you can shoot threes. It was
Mm-hmm.
confusing to me, but
Mm-mm.
um, you bring him in. You got Steph Curry, Draymond. Still a staple there. Hopefully Draymond can keep his hands to himself this season. Um, hopefully we won't get too many technical fouls and flagrant fouls and kicking guys in another region or choking
In the nether
anybody out,
regions,
choking anybody out or stomping them in their chest.
or snuffing the young guys.
Snuffing the young guys at practice.
Mm.
And speaking of the young guys, I think it's time that we see the young guys, step up. The Kamingas, going to be getting more time.
The Loonies, the Kyle Andersons, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we can't forget about Wiggins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
He
absolutely.
these past 2 seasons he's been having a lot of crazy issues. The past 2 seasons, with personal stuff. He just lost his father
Yeah.
this off season, so he went through a lot. So hopefully now that all of that's behind him, he could
Mm-hmm.
focus on basketball now, and we can see the Andrew Wiggins that we have been accustomed to, especially during that championship run they had, and when he was in Minnesota. So hopefully we will see that Wiggins come back. If not, then the Warriors will be definitely in trouble again. It was very strange not to see them in the playoffs. So hopefully we won't get a repeat of that.
Well, I'll say this: you know how the Lakers won the in-season tournament last year. Golden State Warriors were the only undefeated team in the preseason. They outscored their opponents by 24 points.
Yes.
I think when they the last 2 seasons were all right. They were ranked 10th and ninth offensively. But I think when they won the championship, they were ranked 16th.
Hmm.
So I think again, five of their top guys, man, could kind of like do their scoring things with Anderson, Green, not even talking about Steph and Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney. Those guys have to show up, like you mentioned. But I think that the Golden State Warriors, it's about realities about to smack them. You know what I mean? 6-0 in the preseason is beautiful, but it really doesn't mean nothing in
Don't
the
mean
grand
anything.
scheme. It don't mean nothing. So we'll see what it is. But I think again, we talk about Steph Curry and Buddy Hield. They might be the greatest backcourt of all
Backcourt.
time. You know what I mean? Um, Doing their thing. What are we thinking about the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Another young team, that have all the skills. Last season they was front runners for the whole season. They were always the top of the Western Conference. Um, they just ran into a hotter team in Minnesota. I'll say in the playoffs. I'm I'm looking forward to seeing SGA, um um Chet, another season with Chet. Um they got Giddy out of there, and
Mm-hmm.
the Williams boys, um they just gonna have to show up. I feel good about them. I feel like they're just gonna build off of what they've been building on, and
Right.
I can see them still being a threat in the West. Um, they may be a piece away from being that championship team. Um, and that piece may just be like a real like veteran presence on that team, because they still a fairly young team. It's a very young team.
How do you think Isaiah Hartenstein is gonna help them?
Well, he gotta get
Well, he's
healthy
gonna be
first of
out.
all, because
He's gonna miss. Yeah, he
yeah,
broke his hand, so he'll be
yeah,
out.
he's gonna miss about what, like 6 to 8 weeks, right? So
Mhm.
so we're not even gonna be able to see how that's gonna look like with him and Chet on the floor together. Because I thought that would be a good combination, but we gotta wait 6 to 8 weeks to see.
And he
You
was
know,
supposed to be the guy to really, turn it around and help them turn around as far as the rebounding thing is concerned. So
rebound and more physical,
right, right.
but
What are we doing with the New Orleans Pelicans?
well, the Pelicans, they go as far as Zion, will go. He lost weight. He looks very good. He looks
Mhm.
really good in shape. Um, we don't know how long if Brandon Ingram going to be on the team.
Right.
That's a name that's been thrown around. Um, Trade rumors for almost a whole year, so he could be going by the trade deadline. So we don't even know what the Pelicans going to really look like. But right now, as how the team stands, still the same team as we seen last season. So that's probably why they looking to make a move to try to bring someone else in to go with CJ and Zion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I really don't have much thought about them. I'm just curious to see how Zion going to look, um, and what he has added to his game, because he can't come in looking like the same guy. I need I need a jump shot. I need something else. I'm this is what through four.
Right.
This year four. So I don't need I need to see more than bully ball from Zion. I need him to start becoming a complete basketball player.
And
Um,
I think, what do you think as far as him and his relationship regards to like CJ McCollum, and you know what I mean, and Devontae Murray.
I
Um,
mean, those are things that he going to have to. It probably gonna have to work on like during the season, because he's been away from the team for a long period of time. Like you said, you got Devontae Murray out there, so I feel like there's gonna be some growing pains for the first, probably for like the first month. They just gotta gel together. They just gotta learn how to play together.
yeah, and if the kid Trey Murphy the third is out for an extended period of time,
Yes, he's also
um,
he's out. Yeah,
yeah, Jordan Hawkins is probably going to get
a
some of
lot of
those
minutes.
minutes.
Hmm.
Yep. We doing it. We on the air early, in the building early, down in Sports Talk. Myself and the Yada Bears in the building. We doing our NBA preview, man. We running through teams as they come up in the conversation and what we think about them. and we're gonna get into our regular spangular situation. You already know the vibes. In a few. The Orlando Magic. What are we talking about them? They added KCP. So are they ready to really be um making a serious move and bulging on that Boston, New York, Philadelphia, take Milwaukee's place so to speak. Can Orlando
Um,
make a power move?
I mean, they are definitely moving in the right direction. They last season, was a surprise to a lot of us. Um, Banchero, he had his coming out party last season, and he really made his mark in the league last season and show that he's a force. Adding KCP definitely helped. KCP, a guy that been there before. He got 2 rings. Defensive guy can help. With the Cole Anthony's. I think that that's a team that may surprise us and may sneak in that 4 or 5 discussion.
Hmm.
What last season? The 6th seed last season?
Who they
I think it
playing?
was like the 6th.
It may have been the 6th seed. It was up
Yeah.
there.
So I can see them sneaking in that 4 or 5 position. Um, Especially how injury goes, especially in with the East, because it always seemed like Giannis or Joel or Dame, one of these guys going to get hurt,
Hmm.
and we can see a couple guys missing the action, losing some games. Um, yeah, I like Orlando. I like Paulo. I think he's really good. I'm hoping to see a little bit more. Hopefully, if he can get that 3-pointer consistently, I think it's going to be a wrap. I think it's going to be a wrap for his opponents out here in the East, and he's definitely got Orlando back on the map. Orlando has been um in the shadows for years, and drafting him, it can have the same effect as like in the NFL with Detroit drafting Aiden Hutchinson. I think Orlando drafting Paulo is on that same line. What you feel? How you feel about Orlando?
I feel like Orlando still very young, even though they had one of the most improved teams last year.
Yeah.
They added a vet. Hopefully, that doesn't go um, unnoticed. I mean, again, with the young guys, and I think those young guys are respect Contavious Caldwell Pope
Yeah.
on reputation alone. You know what I mean? Because they watch, they see they
Mhm.
bring this veteran guy who can help us out, and we need to listen to him. Franz Wagner, he needs to fix his jumper. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Again, he's going to be important. He needs to be the guy, one of the guys that shoots well from beyond the arc. But when you talk about the Orlando Magic, it's either they're going to make progress and kind of hone in on that big three, you know what I mean, and take Milwaukee's spot, you know what I mean, because people are kind of souring on Milwaukee,
Yeah.
and they might have to deal with Indiana. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So Orlando, we'll see what they're made of and what they're going to deal with as far as the season is concerned. Let's jump back to the West. I want to talk about DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
if this is, I think of it more as a thing where if it works, and I think it will work, Sacramento is going to be one of the top teams in the West. Top three, I wouldn't say that. Top four, maybe. Depends on how well this thing works because you have a nucleus to go with De'Aaron Fox and
Mhm.
Sabonis. You know what I mean? And you
Mhm.
got guys. I think that when you have a three like a DeRozan, a Fox, and Sabonis, you can put those guys up in the building against whatever three you want.
True.
You know what I mean? But it has to show up on the basketball floor. And I think when you talk about the Sacramento Kings, they're one of the teams that you want to see make a move, but they'll get you to a game 7 and things happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, again they score a lot. They're one of the 4 teams that scored more than 120 points per 100
Hmm.
possessions in the preseason. They opened the season against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Thursday, so we'll see.
Oh, that's a tough
Um,
matchup.
yeah, interesting. What are where are we at with the Miami Heat?
Um, Before we get to the Heat, because I want
Okay.
to, since we talk about DeMar DeRozan, can we talk about the Chicago Bulls? Because I kind of feel like DeMar jumped the gun a little too quick.
Mm,
Um, you got Lonzo Ball back. Lonzo looked pretty good out there in the preseason. He worked on his shot. Before Lonzo had that slow windup. Well, he's getting the shot off a little bit quicker now.
hmm
You got a healthy Zach LaVine. You got Kobe White there. So I kind of feel like DeMar might have jumped ship a little too
mm,
quickly.
mm,
Um, because what I'm seeing out there in Chicago, it can work. It would have been better with DeMar. So I can't I just can't I can't keep my eye off of them because when I seen it and I thought Lonzo did things the right way. He didn't rush back. He took his time. He got all the proper surgeries, the proper treatment to get himself back in the league. He worked extremely hard. I gotta respect that. And he looked good in the preseason. So that's a team that I'm actually excited to watch this season because of all of the pieces that's there. And when we talk about Sacramento and DeMar, it makes me think like, damn, did DeMar, you know, jump the gun a little too soon? Did he not believe that this kid Lonzo was going to come back healthy? Did he not believe that Zach LaVine was going to come
He,
back
he
healthy?
didn't want to be around Josh Giddey.
Or I was going to say, or did he not believe in the organization? I mean, like you said, they got Josh Giddey there, Kobe White. Like they got a
I
squad.
mean, yeah,
You,
DeMar's gone. He took his mid-range shot with him.
yeah,
Um,
but
it's
when you look at Chicago right now, you gotta kind of admit they got a
it's
little
you know
squad there.
you know what, I'm not really clear on how competitive they're going to be, but I think that their shot diet
Interesting.
is going to be a
It's
whole lot different. I
yeah,
think
it's
when you
interesting,
got
right?
guys like Josh Giddey and you got guys like Lonzo Ball who's going to kind of like come back and run the show, along with the Kobe Whites of the world. You know what I mean? They're going to make a difference, and I think how much of a difference that remains to be seen. But like we
Yeah,
said,
but it's interesting.
DeRozan is gone, and he took his shot with him. So we'll
No,
see what
true,
happens in
true.
Chicago. But the Miami Heat,
Miami
um,
Heat.
they've been the AC the last 2 years,
Yeah,
right?
but they have made it.
The first
One of
time they
the
went to
years
the
they made it to
finals,
finals.
but last year they got beat in the first round. They got clobbered in the first round.
Yes, they
So
did. And now, we are hearing things coming out of Miami, even before the season starts, how Pat Riley don't really like Jimmy Butler. You already got the trade rumors starting already. Um, Miami's definitely on a decline. I do expect to see Jimmy Butler get traded before the trade deadline. I can't see him finishing this season in a Miami Heat jersey.
mm,
Um, you still got Tyler Hero. You got the same guys. You basically got an eighth seed. When you look at Miami, you see play in. Miami Heat got play in written all over them, and that's why I can't see Jimmy Butler staying there. I just Eric Spoelstra, hell of a coach. but sometimes when you don't have the talent, you can be the best coach in the world. If you don't got the talent, you don't got the
Yeah, because
talent there.
you're not out there on the floor with them, so
Exactly. You
that's
sitting on the sideline writing up X's and O's.
hoping they execute. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So
Um,
I just don't see it.
yeah, I mean, when you talk about the Miami Heat, I think it's about Jimmy Butler, but then if they have a thing going on, Pat Riley don't play, and Jimmy Butler is proven to be a playoff potential. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna go with this year. Playoff potential. Like they went to the finals, that's cool and all that. But then you went backwards,
Yeah.
seriously backwards.
No.
And you went backwards so much to a point that we ain't even gonna talk about you no more. You know what I mean? Because y'all don't know what y'all want to do, who y'all want to be, how you
Yeah.
want to move. And I think, we went from one of the dope organizations in the NBA. You know what I mean? I think, early when you talk about the offense with the Miami Heat, um, they take 22% of their shots in the last 7 seconds of the shot clock.
Yes, they do.
Passing the ball around, you know what I
All the time.
mean?
Nobody. It's hot potato. They play hot
Yeah, you know
potato.
what I mean. Then somebody will look up and snap.
Let's run. Let's run the offense.
The Jaime Jaquez kid from UCLA. He'll
Yeah.
look up and say, snap! It's 7 seconds on the shot clock, and now here we are. I think that they should be looking to get the ball up the floor a little bit more quick. I think that they're going to open the season up against Orlando and Charlotte. So again, their third ranked defense should carry them early in the season, and we'll see what kind of noise that they make in Miami because Pat Riley is talking ish. And when Pat Riley talks ish, things are going to happen.
Yep.
The Memphis Grizzlies. This is going to be one of the most interesting on the low stories in the league this year. Everybody's going to have an eye on Ja Morant. Not an eye like we're watching them in the grocery store or something like that, but an eye just to see how long this thing is going to go before it goes left. They got all the opportunity in the world to go right again. But as we know, right? So again, when you talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, I mean, Zach Edey's going to be a help. They got Marcus Smart. Ja is going to be healthy. Again, I think Jaren Jackson, he's fell off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He was one of the, the defensive
Defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? DPOY. You know what I mean? And all that. And he just kind of like fell off. I think that this week early is going to tell, where we are with the Grizzlies. And they're not playing really any West contenders, but I think that they play the Jazz, the Houston Rockets, and Orlando, which are going to be tests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that when you talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, is yet to be determined, right? What are your thoughts on the Houston Rockets?
Young team, exciting team. I like what they got building in Houston. We seen a little bit of it last year. They got Brooks there. Fred Van Bleek there.
Yeah,
A little a little, veteran presence down there with all them young guys. They again a team that's giving the players money. They just gave Jalen Green some bread too. Like everybody's getting a check. The NBA just handing out checks to
Just
everybody.
handing out money.
Okay,
Yeah, you take some money. You get the money.
everybody.
Who the hell need a car?
Listen,
Who the hell would need a car when they give you $20 and $30 million? You know what I mean?
listen, everybody getting at least 100 mil. I feel like
Yeah,
every check the NBA giving out at least 100 mil. Okay, so extremely young. Like I said, another young team, but with some vets on there, they're making good decisions. Houston has been a trash organization for a while. We have seen them do some very questionable moves, bringing in very questionable players.
2 or 3 times.
Exactly. So
Right.
now, I feel like they're moving in the right direction. I like the young guys they got. I'm just you know, it's still gonna, it's still gonna be Houston where they're not really making any noise, but it's gonna be entertaining and it's gonna be interesting. Um, that's another team that I can see being buyers and sellers by the trade deadline and probably bringing some more veteran help, moving around some of those young pieces. But we'll see. I like him. I like the kid Green. I like Jalen Green. I think
Right.
he's a
They got a young squad. They can put it
yeah.
together. I think
They got
the
yeah.
Houston Rockets are one of those teams that kind of like sort of like maybe the Detroit of the West, as Detroit is the Houston of the East. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those young teams, very very green. No pun intended. Just very
Mm-hmm.
young, and we got to watch them as they ascend to the NBA. Now to let's get to the part that we want to talk about. Los Angeles Lakers,
Whew.
right? I wish Windwalker was here, but oh well.
Oh well.
Um, what are we doing with the Lakers, Browski?
Well.
He said,
Well.
"Well,
Well. It starts tonight. It starts at 10:30 tonight. Will we see history? Will we see history?
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
of course we're gonna see it. You know, um, the Staples Center or whatever it's called, the Crypto Center, it's been sold out already. And everybody's coming here to see one thing. Well, two: LeBron and Bronny on the court together in a regular season game. It don't matter if this kid touched the ball, pass the ball, shoot the ball. They just want to see him step on the court
In the court,
with his father in the Lakers jersey during a regular season game.
let's
And
go."
then
Mhm.
after that happens, he's off to the G League.
Then what? Right. Then
Right
what?
there.
Right.
Right there. And now we talk about the regular Lakers team right here that come in with LeBron James coming on his 22nd season. Extremely impressive. I gotta tip my hat off to the guy. 22 seasons. I gotta tip my hat off for real. This season, once again, gonna come down to his health and of course, Mr. Glass help, aka Anthony Davis. Um, do they have enough around them to hopefully not have to play in the play-in? I don't know. It kind of seems like the same team
That's
we
where they
seen
headed.
last
Right.
year.
Right.
It,
Mhm.
it, it seems like I have to say though the the kid what's his name Dalton
Next,
Dalton
next,
what next
next, or whatever
he
from Tennessee.
yeah from sharpshooter. I wanted my Sixers to draft him. Um, he can light it up. He can shoot. That's something that they definitely need on a Laker team. Someone who could spread the ball out and hit the 3-point shots because we all know what the focus is going to be. LeBron James coming down the court like a train. A lot of bully ball, and like you said, hopefully, AD can stay healthy for the rest of the season. Then you got Austin Reeves again.
Right. This guy.
It like I said, it's the same team. With this addition of you got the circus with Bronny, and that's the problem. It's a circus right now because it's too much attention on. Oh, when is Bronny
The
going to get in
wrong
the
thing.
game?
Let's say what it is. The wrong thing. Let's
The,
go.
about the wrong thing, and then on top of that, we have to focus on this first year coach and JJ Redick, who
Let's.
hasn't
Oh
coached
man.
anything. He
Right.
hasn't coached a rec league, a AAU team, a high school team, a junior college, a
Cub Scout
community
meeting.
college. uh, he hasn't coached
Say that.
anything. This man has been sitting in the booth on ESPN calling games, giving
Terrence Stephen A. Smith to shreds. That's
yes,
right.
giving commentary, going back and forth with Stephen A. Smith, and now this guy is the head coach of one of the most historic teams in the NBA.
Only in America. Only in America.
Only in America was someone
Only in America,
who
yo.
hasn't coached himself out of a paper bag can be the
Right.
coach of the LA Lakers.
Mm.
Crazy.
Only in America.
So we're not even talking about the guys on the court. We're talking about all of the other stuff,
The
and
other
that's the
stuff, right?
problem with the
That's what we
Lakers.
do over here down in sports talk
Okay,
about the other
they
stuff.
are the LA other stuff Lakers because we always talking about something else besides what's happening on the court, and we got to see, are they going to listen to this guy? When JJ is you telling me fourth quarter, 5 seconds left, they in the timeout, and he's drawing up some play, and you see LeBron looking at it and go, "We ain't doing that. Listen, this is what we're gonna do." Okay, like
right.
who? Like, come on, like
We
we talking
know
about
what it
JJ
is.
Redick.
That's inevitable.
And,
And
and
it
we,
might be
and we,
happening
and
right
we,
in
we
front of
talking
our
about,
face.
a guy who is ringless. Let's be for real. He's ringless, and you are coaching champions. You're coaching a future Hall of Famer, walking Hall of Famer, LeBron James, and another future
And
Hall of
his
Famer
son.
with
His son.
AD, with his son. And you telling me that he's gonna look at that play and be like, "We're gonna do exactly what JJ says."
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be different. I think the whole focus, like you said, Kimmy, is that it's not going to be what happens with the Lakers on the court. It's going to be, watching, when is Bronny going to enter the game and when is he going to be on the same floor? It's the dramatic, it's the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that this schedule starts off kind of tough. Yes. So it's gonna.
They got Minnesota. They got Minnesota tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for them. So hopefully that they can sell a lot of commemorative merchandise. A lot of pictures will get taken.
Exactly.
A lot of people have commentary about where they were. Let me give the air quotes, Basky, where they were when Bronny stepped on the court. You know what I mean? Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. are gonna be in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's dope. You know what I mean? You have you had Gordie Howe and Mark Howe, the hockey players, or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't imagine this. Your son, legit. This is not a movie, even though it's going to be one down the line.
Definitely going to be a movie.
Sooner than later, this is going to be a movie. But this is real life taking place with your son, not your stepson, not some dude that you helped grow up. Your son is coming to play in a legitimate, real, live NBA basketball game with you.
Yeah. And what's crazy, it's something that that he said in the interview 20 years ago that he would love to play with his son, and now tonight it possibly will happen. And I can't hate him for that. I can't hate on that at all. Am I going to watch? Of course I'm going to watch.
No, I'm watching. Absolutely.
I'm going to watch because
it's a dope moment, see it.
I need to see it because this is history in the making. Just like when we saw Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Sr. hit back-to-back home runs. My God. Unbelievable.
Right.
Father and son.
That's right.
Go up there back-to-back. So
that's right. Absolutely.
What do I want to see Bronny in the perfect world? Do I want to see Bronny throw a oop to his dad in the Lakers uniform? That would, in a perfect world, that would happen tonight. Bronny on the court, him and his dad, fast break, he throws up a oop to his dad. Crazy. That would be magical, And then the credits will roll.
Right.
And then we'll wake up and Bronny's in the G League.
In the G League, playing against the Blue Coats.
Exactly. Playing against the 86ers,
But we in the building, man. We having some fun with it, man. We doing our NBA preview, man. Before we get into the situation that's going on, we know we got a lot to talk about. the Los Angeles Clippers, besides the fact that they're opening up this crazy, what is it, the Intuit Dome
The
that they're
Intuit
opening up
Dome.
in LA. I know Kawhi Leonard will be into it.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I
we know who won't be
mean,
into it.
death, taxes, and no Kawhi Leonard are open tonight. That's three things you could be assured of: death, taxes, and no Kawhi Leonard are open tonight. That's it.
Well, here we go. The Clippers once again. I just don't understand. Why they keep this guy around? You know. I kind of feel like.
Harden? Oh, you talking about Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, I kind of feel.
I thought you were talking about James Harden. My bad.
Well, don't worry, I'm gonna get to him. But I kind of feel like Kawhi is at a crossroad right now with his career, because at this point, this guy is stealing money. We gotta be honest.
Kawhi is like the great pumpkin.
He is stealing money. So now he got to make a decision. You either get the surgery and you be out for a year and get yourself
again.
And get yourself together. Like, get the surgery that you need instead of trying to correct it yourself, doing all this other stuff. Just get the surgery and get it corrected, or retire. And if you retire, bro, you done it all. You're a two-time NBA champion,
right. Absolutely,
two-time finals champion. You are one of the only players to win a championship on the Western side and in the Eastern Conference, and was Finals MVP.
And one of the all-time classic shots.
Exactly, they will go down in history. That broke my heart. That I hate, but I gotta give him.
Joel Embiid was crying.
Listen, we were always crying. Look, listen, we were all crying here in Philadelphia when that shot went in. So if this guy decides tomorrow to retire, it's no shame.
Right. No shame. That's right.
You did it all,
and he would be saluted. He would be saluted. Absolutely.
Yes. Boom, you go straight to the Hall of Fame. You win there.
I think that when you talk about the Clippers, I think they're gonna need some, defense. They're gonna definitely need offense from sources other than James Harden. They can be competitive. I mean, Chris Dunn.
I mean, you still got Norman Powell. You still got
they have some Terrence Mann. They got some people, but they're gonna have to lean into that defensive identity, man. Because I think when
you would need a lot more.
They got to see the Suns, Nuggets, and Warriors this week, so it's going to give us an early.
So to me, that's LLL because LLL Cool J is hard as
hell.
Because listen, James, they put all their baskets and all their eggs in the James Harden basket, and we see how that can end up.
And Paul George is in Philly, so he can't help you.
And he can't help. Look, we see how that happened in Houston. See how it happened in Brooklyn. You see how it happened in Philly. And look, and now it's happening in LA. So, oh well.
Oh well. We in the building, man. We about to get ready to get into our situation of our regular situation. If we missed your team, we'll definitely get up on the next rebound. See what I did there? The next rebound. We are in the building. Don't go nowhere. We right here. We're about to switch it up right now. As YADABEAR always says at the beginning of the show,
it must be Tuesday.
And here we are, Tuesday. We in the building. Absolutely. Down in Sports Talk. We've been in. We jumped on early tonight to talk some NBA because we felt like we didn't give a proper NBA preview. We just ran through some teams, and we continue to do that some more early on in the season. A lot of stuff to talk about, yo. First of all, where we go? Do we do the Liberty first? Yeah, ladies first. Let's do the Liberty first. Salute to the New York Liberty. Somebody on this panel said that the Liberty would win the WNBA championship. Somebody on this panel said that. It was tough. I think that they had a typical WNBA season, the longest season ever, 40 games. The Sabrinas came through. Um, but Jonquel Jones was the MVP, and she deserved it. Maybe some questionable situations at the end. I'm
A
not mad.
lot, a
Yeah,
lot of questions.
I got to speak to it, Browski. I'm not going to act like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of questionable situations towards the end. But hey, what it is. The New York Liberty are the WNBA champions. Um, you want to speak to those things at the end because I mean you're right. I mean talk to it because it reminded me of the LSU Iowa game when the referees was I don't know what the hell they
Listen,
were. But
listen,
go ahead, talk about it a little bit.
listen. What has been the theme for the past 2 years that we always talk about, especially in big games? Officiating always have to be a part of the game. You know, always gotta make their presence known. And what we seen in those last final minutes in that championship game, which was amazing, went into overtime. But
Mm-hmm.
here we go. Instead of me talking about the game, the players, I gotta talk about the refs. These terrible calls. Okay, my girl Stewie took about 10 steps.
Did a C web.
She the ultimate
Did a
C
Chris
Web.
Webber.
That she did the ultimate Chris Webber. Okay, she
Mhm.
took about 10 steps and then got called a foul. I said, yeah, she ran into. I said she walked into the foul. I'm like, what happened to the wall? What happened to those 10 steps? A lot of questionable fouls that wasn't being called on one side. Um, it, it was just bananas.
It's all over the place. Hmm.
But what do we always say? Do not give the refs. Don't put the game in the refs' hands.
True.
You know, take care of business so that you don't have to worry about the refs making these terrible calls that
Hmm.
could determine the game. And that's exactly what happened to the Minnesota Lynx. And yeah, we can go back and forth about this and that, but at the end of the day, Minnesota, they fought back. They came all the way back. They was down by what, like 17,
Hmm.
and they
It was down
came.
big.
Yeah, they was down big like the whole game. Came back, took the game to overtime, and they just couldn't finish them off. Sabrina had a terrible game. Game five, this was the worst time for her to have an off night. But luckily for them, Jonquel she said, I won't be denied this time.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, she said third time a charm. She said I will not be denied. She put the team on her back. Um, and rolled off to the sunset, got that victory. Brianna Stewart hit two clutch free throws,
Hmm.
to help put that away. And we talked about this team for 2 years. They all came together last season, and we said, it probably take them a season to gel together, and now we have seen that. You know, um, Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, Sabrina Ionescu, Courtney Vandersloot.
Hmm.
Those were their core, and they came up big this season. They've been the front runner, since opening tip off of the
Hmm.
WNBA season. Um, this season has been a very historic season, very entertaining season. Um, I'm glad that the WNBA has finally got um, a lot of shine on them. Um, a lot of new fans, good and bad, but guess what? A fan is a fan, If you talking about, WNBA player, then that means that you're watching the WNBA.
Right, right,
And,
right.
like they said, um, good or bad, good or bad means that, that you watching me. You watching it. So hopefully, next season they can keep the momentum going. They added 4 more games. I love the fact that we have 40 games this season, so now we're gonna have 44 games. I'm loving that even more. That means more time on, more time for them to be on TV.
Absolutely.
We got another team coming in San Francisco. Can wait to see what the Valkyrie bring in. And the next season we got a Toronto team coming in. So I'm excited. The WNBA is definitely um, gaining a lot of momentum. We got a lot of talent out there. And when you think about a new team coming in, you always think, oh, well, this team's probably gonna be bad. Well, that's not the case because they got a
That's right.
pool.
That's right. That's
They
right.
got a pool
Talk
of
about it.
players who's extremely
That's right.
talented that they are able to draft from. And not only that,
Mm-hmm.
you also got the incoming draft that's coming
Mm-hmm.
up. So don't sleep on the Valkyrie. They're gonna come in with some talent. I can't wait to see next year two with the Fever with Caitlin Clark and see how that situation go. Hopefully they can bring back Kelsey Mitchell, because she's gonna be a highly sought out free agent. So if I'm the Fever, I would definitely be looking to resign her with the quickness. You got Angel Reese in Chicago, coming back for her injury, and it's gonna be interesting to see what coach they're gonna bring in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was just this year was a great year for women's sports. Just going back to last season women's NCAA tournament.
Right.
All the hype with
You
Kate.
can't see me.
Yeah, Kate. The whole hype with Caitlin Clark breaking the
Mm-hmm.
records. South Carolina going undefeated and winning the championship. You see a breakout season with Juju. And all the talent from USC, UCLA, Notre Dame, South Carolina, Iowa,
Connecticut, Paige Buckers.
that UConn. It's just so many teams. Tennessee, NC State. It's just like the talent is just all over the place, and it's just getting better and better. Because this season, I can't wait for this season to open up. Out in Paris. You know, Once again, I can't
Doing it
wait to
big. They're doing
see.
it big.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to I can't till December when we get the Juju Paige Beckers matchup. That USC UConn matchup. I can't wait to see that. So it's a lot of things that to be excited for women's sports, and then the draft coming up, seeing them leaving college, coming to the WNBA. I can't wait. I'm super excited. Um, and this finals was a great final. 5 games, 5 competitive games too. You know, um, it was just an overall good season, and I'm just extremely excited. And don't sleep on the unrivaled league that's going to be broadcast on TNT and TBS. So that's another great, spot to keep these ladies from having to go overseas. So they won't have another Brittany Griner situation. They can stay at home in America and play and make money. So definitely support that. I would definitely say, be on the lookout for Unrivaled. Salute to the New York Liberty. I see that they had their parade, on Thursday.
Yeah. If that's
They
what
had
y'all
their,
doing.
par- they
Yeah.
gonna have their parade on Thursday.
Yeah. So
So
salute to them. We got Win Walker in the house.
they go
And
win.
he's just in time because we're about to get it in. Um, salute the G. That's all I'm gonna say to you right now, man. You know what I'm saying? New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm gonna set this one off. Um, we are what we are right now, right? This is where we wanted to be the last few seasons, but we got derailed, whether it be the Houston Astros, be it the Boston Red Sox, be it whatever. This World Series is takes me back, and I said that, Browski, that it takes me back to when I was little. You know what I'm saying? Dodgers and the Yankees, Dodgers and the Yankees. It even goes back to like Pops and old Pops and all of that. You know what I mean? From the Brooklyn Dodgers and all that days, Yankees and all
Mhm.
that. So now we got the 2024 version.
Yeah.
It's very, to me, it's evenly matched. You got power against power, right? You got speed, someone against speed. Um, you got pitching against pitching, but we talked about it behind the scenes. Browski was like the Dodgers pitching will be a little bit under the Yankees, where the Yankees are. Garrett Cole is going to start game one for the Dodgers. And Jack Flaherty's going to start game one for the Dodgers, and
Mhm.
Garrett Cole's going to start for the Yankees.
Mhm.
Um, I'm looking forward to be a very exciting series full of stars everywhere you look, either side of the coin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody's gonna be there. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like a Nick game. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? At Yankee Stadium. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
everybody in the building, everybody who's somebody. Again, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, so I'm not even going to speak to what happens in down the line in game 5 or 6 or whatever. But I'm just looking forward to the 2 games out in LA. First 2 games out in LA. It's going to be crazy. Um, you already know Otani's going to get his. Mookie Betts is going to do something. You know what I mean?
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman's going to do something. My thing,
Will
my
Smith.
concern. Yeah, you know what I mean. Will Smith, absolutely. And then you got on the Yankee side, Gleyber Torres, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Rizzo, Jazz Chisholm playing in the World Series, you know,
Soto.
and Soto, this is his stage right here.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is the stage for Soto right here. And so for me, and since you brought that up, Browski, let's talk about it right quick.
Go ahead.
This is where Soto's going to sell himself.
He's playing for that money. This
This
is
is where he's playing for the bread. He's playing
yeah.
for the moolah, the
Yes, he
dough,
is.
the grip, the papes, the snaps, the fabrics. He's
Well,
playing for that.
can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
He might have already gotten that check halfway filled out after hitting that home run in that 10th inning to project
Maybe.
y'all
Hopefully,
to the World
hopefully,
Series. So
hopefully.
maybe some of them zeros was already written down. We just waiting for the signature.
Right. And I think that, again, as the Yankees do, they're gonna probably be bidding against themselves because these teams they have money, but you know who I might be worried about? The Mets. Because their owner Steve Cohen got bread.
He got cash.
He got long bread. He got
I'm gonna tell you.
cream. He got cash moves, everything. Word up.
I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Yankees, Mets, Phillies. Don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Don't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. Phillies, and I'm gonna probably say probably like a team like probably like somebody from like left field
It
like
got to be a big market team because a small market team can't afford
yeah,
them.
it probably like somebody left field like like somebody like the Tigers now because the Tigers are showing something,
Hey, that listen. I'm not
you
mad at
know?
that, and they on the come up, and so I'm not mad at
Yeah,
that. But I feel like this World Series right here is going to be good. I'm excited. Friday night, the anticipation build. It's going to be crazy up in the Bronx. It's going to be crazy in LA.
definitely.
We're going to see the different worlds. How out in LA it's more laid back. You know what I mean? They get buck wild out there
Flashy.
too.
It's
You know what I mean?
flashy.
Yeah, and the series moves to Yankee Stadium for the middle games, it's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
it's
gritty.
gonna be, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
gritty out there in New
really,
York.
and the reason why I say that and put the emphasis on the crazy part is because you're dealing with a whole new generation of people.
Yeah, we talking about that before. Yeah,
These
these young guys out here.
these fresh baby breaths don't know nothing about decorum. You see them out there the other night when they beat Cleveland.
It was
And
crazy.
so again, and then let me say this to my fellow Yankee fans out there, the youngsters. Have fun, man. Celebrate this thing. But wait till it's over with before you start wilding,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't have enough energy. I don't care how many Red Bulls you drink. You don't have enough energy to do 4 games and jumping up and down the street and going, oh, oh, you know. We don't got no, we don't have enough energy for that. Wait till we win the World Series and then do what you do. Just don't burn nothing down. Don't burn because we don't do that. We from New York. We don't do that.
Don't burn nothing down and don't be breaking
We
in
might
people's
listen.
doors.
I'm gonna keep it so. I'm gonna keep it so green. We might stab a couple of people. People might catch the end of an ice pick, but you know what I mean. There's no cars burning down. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So New York, we gonna be in the building. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy scene. I can't wait. Dodgers, Yankees, Milwaukee. What are your thoughts?
You muted.
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you.
I can hear you.
All
Check
There
right,
you
this
talk
out.
go.
up.
Check this out. We're gonna let the fall classic be the fall classic. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna see how it start out and see where everybody how the cars. I just want them bats to be swinging on the New York side. I need the Yankees to do what they do, which I predicted. If you go back some shows that the Yankees would be at this point, and Mr. Arndale said, "Now we don't want to just get here." This is when we was before the ACLS and all of that. He said, "We just don't want that. We want the big prize." And I understood what he was talking about, and that's what we want. We want the big prize. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm
And
at with it.
and hold on 1 second, Browski. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
I'm listening.
This is how you get to the World Series. For all you Philadelphia Phillies
Oh,
fans,
here we go. See,
y'all
I
sitting in
was
the
just
chat,
about to
y'all
say something
swore up
nice
and
about the
down
Yankees.
that
That's
y'all
why.
was gonna win the World Series in the June when Kyle Schwarber was hitting mad leadoff
Here we
home
go.
runs and Bryce Harper was. Listen, let me tell you something. This is how you're supposed to do it, right? Montel Jordan notwithstanding. This is how you do it. It's been 15 years. Yes, Browski, I'm going to talk my Ishington. It's been 15 years, yo. Like, we deserve this. Now, the only way I see Phillies fans or Red Sox fans or Mets fans or whatever getting at us is if we get swept. We're not getting swept. We might go down in the series, but we're going to win. Yankees going to win the World Series.
And this is how.
In seven games, Bowski.
This is why you can't think about saying something nice about
Look
the
at this.
Yankees
Look
because
at
the
this.
Yankee
Look at this.
fans turn around
Look at this.
try
Look at
to
this.
try to throw salt in the room. After
Nah, we just
you
I'm
know
just calling it like
they've been holding
somebody had
on
to
to
say
that
it.
salt for 15 years.
Windwalker wasn't gonna say it. Windwalker's a nice
Listen,
guy.
they've
He's
been
an
holding
icon.
on.
He can't talk
They,
like that. He's an
they've been
icon.
holding on to that salt for 15 years. That salt
Absolutely.
almost
Holding on to it
crystallized.
for
Okay,
15 years.
that salt has turned into rock salt. Okay,
Yes.
but
Yes.
as I was going to say,
Uh-huh.
this right here is what America wanted. You know, America wanted a Yankees Dodgers World Series, and I think this right here is going to make up for last year's World Series that was so trash.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
last year World Series was so trash, and now we got something that we can root for
mm,
because these are two teams that most people in America love and most people in America hate. You know, these are
mm.
teams
Okay, Boston, I feel you. Let's
that
go. Mhm. More
that
fire, more fire,
are
more fire, more fire, more fire, more fire,
these are
more fire.
two teams that that has quote unquote like people want to say brought championships. They spin
The
the
evil
buck.
empire. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They build empire. They spend the big bucks. They get the big names, and now we have two guys on each team. When you look at Aaron Judge and a Juan Soto, and then you look at a Shohei Ohtani that had a whole bunch of heat on him at the beginning of the year with the whole gambling thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look at the Mookie Betts who was hurt, who came back and got right back into the fold. You look at Freeman, they've been holding it down. Will Smith, and then you look at they brung in the pitcher from Japan. That everybody was
Yamamoto.
everybody was trying to get this guy. And guess where he landed at? He landed in LA. He could have landed in New York. I could have seen him as a Yankee. I could have seen him as a Philly, but he landed in LA. So this is something that, like I said, we all been looking to watch. And as a baseball fan, I will be tuning in and will be watching this, send all four of my eyes. I will be watching this and paying close attention because this is something that we have been missing. A New York LA World Series. When the last time we had
East Coast, West Coast beef.
exactly when the last time we had East Coast West Coast beef like
Well,
this?
well. Let's talk about this. Okay. Every time that it's been this East Coast, West Coast beef, have you ever noticed it surrounds itself around the power hitters
Mm-hmm.
uh, in each of the series that has been in years past? I remember when it was Reggie Jackson and the fights and the managers fights and all of that. And this is going to be a classic. This is always a classic. And they've went against each other how many times?
A lot.
A lot. This is the
Yes.
most this is the most story rivalry in
Three
baseball.
times in my memory.
Listen,
Hey,
I
this is
seen.
this is on the same line as Boston versus LA. New York Yankees versus LA Dodgers. And when we talking behind the scenes, and when I was saying, like, I feel like this is going to go 7 games, and it depends on the big bats. If Aaron Judge go in LA for
I
these
think
first
it's
two
Soto.
games, well, I feel like it's Aaron Judge because he hasn't shown up at all against that Cleveland series. Soto showed up and showed out. He one of the main reasons why you're in this position. But Aaron Judge, he's the captain. He's money bags. He's Mr. Yankee. When you think of the Yankees,
Allegedly.
well, yeah, well, right, of this generation. When you think of
Allegedly.
when you
I'm
think
more Mr. Yankee than he
of
is.
this Yankee team, for the past 2 to 3 years, who name do people say first? Aaron Judge. When you look in those stands for the past 2 to 3 years, who jersey do these people have on? Aaron Judge. Who just got the bag? Aaron Judge. Who last year broke the AL home run record? Aaron Judge. Okay? He is the one that's supposed to be taking y'all to the World Series. He's the one supposed to be leading the charge. So if he come out there in these first 2 games and he go, what I say, what 2 for 10, 3 for 12, in 2 games in LA, it's gonna be a long series for the Yankees. And I said vice versa for the Dodgers. Because as we see, Shohei, he hasn't really been hitting when it's just him out there.
Well,
He's been
you must
struggling when the bases are empty. So
you
if he
must
comes out there and he struggles, it's gonna be a long series for the Dodgers.
well,
I
guess
feel like
what?
hold on one second. I feel like it's gonna go down to pitching. And with what I've seen with my eyes, is that the Yankees have better pitching than the Dodgers. especially when it comes to the bullpen, because I have seen the Dodgers crumble when their bullpen comes out. I feel like it's going to go 7 games, and I feel like at the end, because the Dodgers had the best record and it's starting out in LA, and that 7th game going to be in LA, I feel like that's the only reason why I would say maybe the Dodgers will pull it out. Maybe. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if New York, if the Yankees go in there, take game 2, come home, and just finish it out at home with those 3 games. Would I be surprised? No. But I kind of feel like it may go 7 games.
You forgot about Gleyber Torres.
I was about to pull a George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin on Browski. Well, when she said the LA Dodgers, well, it's been nice having Browski on the show. She was like, "Oh, wait a minute!
Listen, all y'all
the Yankees are gonna.
I gotta be aggressive.
The Yankees are gonna come back. All right.
I gotta be aggressive.
Hey, listen, we ain't gotta call HR. We ain't gotta call HR. Win.
This ain't the Yankees network.
You know what I mean?
No, excuse me. This is Down in Sports. This is not Yankees Sports Network.
Okay, that's what it is. I ain't mad at you. Listen, man, it's going to be a great series, man. Looking forward to it. Let's get into the thing because that's why Windwalker's here. You know what I mean? You already know that's why Windwalker closed the stores early tonight, so we could chop up week 7. Big win. Had a nice win against the New York Jets there. Talk about it a little bit.
You know, we brought in our second stringer, which is really not a second stringer, starter, which we're using for the second half, Mr. Russell. You know, you call him Mr. when he shows out like that. You know what I'm saying? He had a little cobwebs in the first, second quarter. And then he got his legs under his sea legs, as they say. All I can say is defense played phenomenal. Offense played phenomenal. A great win. Great win. Great win. Great win.
I got a question for you, Win.
Yeah.
Do you think the Steelers look better under Russell than they do with Justin?
I think that it's a toss-up. When we play teams that cover the pass good, we need to use Fields. When we play teams that cover the run good, we use Russ. We got a double-headed sword right here.
No.
We can bring them both
I knew he was
in.
going to say that. That's why I asked him that question. I knew he was going to say that.
That's the big bro right there. But you know, should I hit him with it, Browski? Should I hit him with it? If you got 2 quarterbacks, how many quarterbacks you got?
2.
0.
If you got 2 quarterbacks, you got 0 quarterbacks. And the reason why you say that is because there's no continuity.
Not at all.
You don't know what you're dealing with. So the offensive line, like, are they? Because you know, and the reason why I say that to you, big bro, is because look at those stupid ass penalties they be calling an offensive lineman downfield shit. That part of itself. I'm sorry. I'm just getting to a point. You know what I mean? But again, at the end of the day, they don't know what's going on. They don't know who's going to be in there. If Russ going to be in there? Is Justin going to be in there? Where he going to break a play? Going to break down? Where he going to scramble for his life?
Exactly.
And say he breaks off a 28-yard run, right? It's going to come back because the offensive man was downfield. The offensive lineman downfield. Like, what are you doing?
Can I cut in there?
Yeah, you can cut in there.
Mr. Tomlin explained this situation at his press conference.
Okay.
He said it's like a double-sided nickel. They can't. Other teams can't prepare for what we finna do.
Y'all can't prepare yourself.
You can't prepare for what you getting ready to do.
I see y'all.
And when, hold up, don't get it twisted. Nobody's coming down on you. It's just like, how is this going to work over 17 games?
Exactly.
I'm riding with the coach. He the one said it, not me. I'm riding with the coach.
Look, I understand. I got you.
I'm riding with the coach.
I just,
hey, he's doing the
I feel
experience.
like he gotta make a decision.
He said, trust the process. He said it. He the one said all this stuff.
Well,
Mr. Mike Tomlin himself.
Well,
he said, just watch.
So now he biting off the Sixers.
Exactly, and we see what the process is in Philadelphia. So I don't think he should.
You see what the process to do.
Yeah, I don't think he should be saying that.
Hey, anything with Philadelphia in it, the process is not working.
What did he?
It worked the other day against the Giants. Browski, you want to talk about that?
Giants
doing his thing against the Giants? Because
wait a minute. Pause. You laughing that we beat the Giants? Y'all beat the Jets. What are you talking about?
And lost to the Cowboys.
Exactly. The Jets are trash.
Okay. We lost to the Cowboys in 26 seconds left, and it's 4th down and goal, and they have to do whatever. So I'm not mad at that.
The point
they have to do whatever. I'm not mad at that.
It don't matter.
It's do or die.
Mm-hmm. It was still a law.
Okay, if dude would have knocked the ball down, we wouldn't be saying that right now. But we still got 5-2. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, but you just I had to make that comment. I had to make that comment because you
okay, I understand.
Okay, but then he beat the Jets with Aaron Rodgers just throwing unnecessary picks to you guys.
Okay, Philly. Philly. I remember at the beginning of the preseason and before this that we probably wouldn't win 3 games. I remember somebody saying we was gonna be trash, but we showing that we not trash. Especially our special teams. Our special teams is still number one.
Played any division games yet? I want to see that against Baltimore.
Okay, it's coming.
I know that's what I'm saying. I want to see it against this tough half of y'all schedule coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming. All right. And you'll see that defense
keep that same energy.
Yeah, and here's another point. For you Dallas lovers, we had 4 key injuries when we played Dallas. They had 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's everybody get injured.
You really have to bring that up.
All right. Well, let's go back to happier times and better things.
Let's talk about the Buccaneers. Let's talk about the Buccaneers.
Whoa!
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Wait a minute. I need to talk about my boys real quick.
Go ahead, talk about your boys.
Let me talk about how Saquon went back to New Jersey because they know New Jersey Giants and ran all over them at MetLife Stadium. Okay, ain't nobody pop no Achilles up in there. Okay. Let's talk about how you got the Mara family sitting up there in the owner's box watching, Saquon do them dirty, for the whole game.
Yep.
Let's talk about how they took, their $160 million quarterback out in the 3rd quarter because he couldn't score not one touchdown against these Philadelphia Eagles defense that was beating him up the whole game. They was on his ass the whole game. Okay.
And plus, I seen the luckiest pass I ever seen in my life.
Oh my God! Here's the hate. No, it wasn't no lucky.
That was the
luckiest. Don't talk about lucky passes because don't balls that Russ was throwing out there. So yeah, you need to be quiet about that. How about
he was in the grass? He was in the grass.
How about how we just destroyed the Giants defense that had a pretty good defense that was keeping people under like 20 points a game. And we came in there and we trashed their defense. Okay,
You did.
all right.
I get
So
your props,
only
but
thing, only thing I gotta say about it is I just need us to build upon that and keep this going because again, it was against the Giants. The Giants is a terrible team. It's a terrible organization, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to beat up on teams like that. But now next week we got the Bengals. I need us to take what we did and move forward with that. I don't want to see us going backwards. Okay, I don't want to see that. I Yes, I'm happy that we beat the Giants, but I need us to take this and keep it going.
so
Keep
I
it
have a
going.
question for you.
What's your
And
question?
I watched your game. You don't think that pass where he's in the grass, he slung it off his back foot, and it went right there between the man, and he caught it on the side. You don't think that was luck, or was that precision?
Listen,
Okay,
listen.
I'm
This
listening.
guy, this guy squats 600 pounds. Okay, he's
Okay,
strong.
okay,
Okay, and in any game, there's always a little bit of luck there. Okay, it's always a little bit of luck.
okay,
It's skill and a little bit of luck with any
okay,
sport. You know,
okay.
that's all I got to say. But let's go ahead and let Left talk about his
Yeah. Listen, man. The Buccaneers are gonna Buccaneer, right? Listen, I think that I said it when we play this Baltimore Ravens team is gonna show us where we are, and where we are is nowhere near where we need to be. Um, but I rest on the fact that the score was 41-31. You know what
Yeah,
I
that
mean?
was crazy.
So I think that again we always talk about the Buccaneers when they play. When we were up, what was it, 10-0? I was like, oh, Baltimore's going to come back. When Evans dropped, he dropped that Browski. I
Oh
said that
no.
last. He
Oh
dropped that.
yes, 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 he did.
The injury notwithstanding, that that was a big play. Baker Mayfield throwing 2 interceptions, right? One to the same guy. You know what I mean? The first one in the back of the corner of the end zone, he threw it
The
straight to
second
him
one
after
was
that.
a, but the second one was a great. That was a
Yeah, the
great
second one
thing.
was nice, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's got to play smarter football than that. You know what I mean?
Baker going Baker. You know that's what Baker does.
Baker's going to bake. You know what I mean?
A
Chris
gunslinger
Godwin got hurt. We had some
again.
because of things that we had to deal with, but I did like what I saw out of Bucky Irvin. I think he's going to be a star. I like what I see out of the kid Sean Tucker. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be nice too.
Yeah,
But
you got
again, at
two.
the end
You
of the
got two
day,
gaps there.
we got again. I said it when the season started. We're going to see what we are when we play the Ravens and the Chiefs and the 49ers and stuff like that. So again, I think that we're
Right now,
good.
it's about 3 games. They say at least 3 games.
Yeah, but like I said, I think we're good, but we're just not at that level yet. And it shows when we play we play those top tier squads. You know what I mean? Every game is going to be a typical Buccaneers game. Either we're winning in the beginning and it's close at the end, or we're getting blown out at the beginning and we get close at the end. So I mean, it is what it is. We good. You know what I'm saying? We all right. You know what I'm saying? I take the good with the bad, but the Yankees in the World Series, so you can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We in the building, man, down in Sports Talk. We jumped on a little early tonight. We jumped into a little NBA preview. Real quick, I gotta mention this. I gotta mention it. The NHL, all 32 teams are playing tonight. It's called
That's
the
crazy.
Frozen Frenzy. That's crazy. All 32 teams are playing tonight. I just wanted to mention that right quick. Again, New York Rangers doing their thing. Again, shout out to everybody, man, who rocks with hockey, man. It's gonna be a heavy season in Columbus with the loss of the Goudreau brothers. You know what I mean? But again, we're looking forward to some things. And they're doing it out in Utah, of all places. The Utah hockey thing, that's the place to be. That out there, they get to edit their game. So, and that's a team that don't even have a name,
I
but they
know.
came.
What is
They,
it?
they beat
The
they
Utah
beat the
Hockey Club
Rangers.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
they beat the Rangers already. So again, that's what we talked about earlier, Browski. Right? These new and expansion teams, They're
Yeah.
not going to be 0-26 like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They
Yeah.
coming in competing like the Vegas Golden Knights. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So again, like you put some respect on their name. But yeah, man, back to my Buccaneers, man. I mean, Baker hopefully gets that out of his system. You know what I mean? Because again, the season is going to get a lot tough. We got Atlanta next week. Again, then we got the 49ers. So again, I think that he's gonna get that out of his system. But those interceptions are bad. Those interceptions were very, very bad.
Yeah. And
There
then
you go, Win Walker. I talked about him. Okay, you
and,
good
and
now?
then you
I
got
talked about
you know you
I
got
got
the
a question.
Patriots.
Uh-huh.
I got a question.
Go ahead, B.
Okay. Who do y'all think? I'm going back to my Steelers. Who do y'all think should start? Y'all don't watch the game. You
I
think it
think
should be
I think
Justin
Jersey Joe Gilliams should start.
Man, come on, man.
Um, to be honest, I think I think Russell should start. To me, the Steelers look like a more complete team, especially in the second half once he settled in. Um, he's this team looked like a more complete team because with Justin in there, it's run first. So you load up the box and you know that he can only make certain throws. You know,
Mm.
even though this is not the same Russell Wilson that we had in Seattle,
Right.
but he can still make those throws. He still has a nice deep ball. Um, he and it seems like he had a good chemistry with Pickens. Pickens went hit 5 catches, 111 yards, a touchdown. Come on, Pickens wasn't getting that at all. First six games, you
It's
know,
field goals. It was all
yeah,
field
it,
goals.
it, it was all field goals. So I feel like with Russell, you're a more complete team because he can still run. You know, a lot of it was still a lot of bootlegs. He can still run, but he can make certain throws. He's more of a threat than Justin. Um,
And it opened it up for Najee too.
yes, and Najee had one of his best games of the season, also on the ground. So, um, with him, it's a more complete team. I feel like if you put Russell in now, I feel like you can't take him out
Mm.
because now you already messed with his confidence already. You don't already mess that up with Fields. You know that, right? His confidence right now is shot because he was winning and you benched him for Russ, So
But you
now
got
you can't go back to him.
but you in the NFL, you gotta score touchdowns. If you're not
No,
scoring touchdowns,
and that's why when people was asking me, was it wrong for them to start Russell? I said you cannot win, especially in the AFC, scoring 13, 17 points a game. I said
the
you gotta
AFC North, I'm
the
telling you.
AFC, the
The AFC
AFC
period.
period. AFC
Yeah.
period. You can't go in thinking that you're gonna make the playoffs scoring 13
Right,
points,
because all those
17
teams are high
points.
scoring teams. When you know that.
Yeah, like you gotta score.
Kansas
Kansas
City,
City,
mm-hmm.
Well,
Houston,
Buffalo.
Buffalo,
No,
yeah.
Miami.
yeah, those
You
teams are
know
going. You have to run up and down the field with them, man.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
You
know,
gotta put on every field goal. You can't go in the game and you kick 2 field goals, but
I,
Buffalo just
I
scored 2 touchdowns.
one more thing. Did y'all see when the dude threw the challenge flag, they ran the play, and then they said, nah, he didn't throw the do these people bring their refs with them? Or what is
I mean,
can't
I
it
don't
happened
know,
to
man.
same thing
I
happened
don't
with
know.
Kansas City. I
yeah,
seen the same exact thing
yeah,
happen at Kansas City.
yeah, yeah.
That
Mm.
we need. I think there needs to be a place where they find the refs for not making a call or doing dumb stuff or not doing the right thing in that situation. Even the people that they talk to in the booth, the old refs, that they talk to for the analysts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said it was wrong. Come on, you gotta keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Keep it
Yo, and on
consistent.
that note, yo, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna get down on it. We've been on here almost 2 hours, man.
Yeah.
Brodsky, what you getting down on real quick before we get up out of here?
I'm gonna get down on two quick things real quick. The first thing I'm gonna get down on is the Cleveland Brown fans. Okay? Cleveland Brown fans. I understand that you personally may not like the things that Deshaun Watson was doing or how he was playing, but to sit there and cheer when a man had tore his Achilles on the field is crazy work. And then they want to talk about Philadelphia fans.
I was
Oh,
hoping
we
I was
lose
hoping
Santa
I was hoping
Claus.
you would bring that up.
Oh, we lose it.
I salute
Oh,
you for bringing that up. Absolutely.
We cheer when Michael
Absolutely.
Irvin damn near broke his neck out there.
He was out
But
there.
guess
He was
what
out
we
there doing the
didn't
safety
do?
dance, and they was cheering because he was on the ground with a broken neck.
Hey, guess what? He wasn't our player. Deshaun Watson played for the Cleveland Browns, and he was at home
That's
in
right,
front of
Kimmy.
Cleveland Browns fans.
You're right.
Okay?
You're right.
And they sat there and they cheered while that man is down there crying because his season and possibly his career is over.
Yeah, it's over.
Because that right there was a gift and a curse for the Cleveland Browns organization.
If you want to know what karma is,
that's the ultimate karma.
If you want to know what karma is, in the words of some people when they answer the phone, hello, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then to me now, I tried to kind of like figure out where Deshaun Watson had an out in this whole scenario, but to me now it just seems like he did it, and he's just paying the price for it now, and now everything is downhill from here. But you go home with $240 million.
Exactly. So now that's why I said
that adds insult to injury of everything else he's going through. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, you know what I'm saying?
That's on him.
But
that's on him.
That's his own. That's his own fault right there.
Yeah, he did that.
But guess what? We got $230 million in the bank right now.
So,
now we're looking at Cleveland, and this is karma on Cleveland for doing your man Baker wrong, for making Baker to be the scapegoat of how trash the Cleveland Brown organization is, because you want to put all that blame on Baker Mayfield, like he was the problem, when it's your organization. And then you gave this man all this money to come over here, play like trash. He was hurt last season, and then he come in, and then this season he tears his Achilles, and he was trash this season. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he was disinterested in playing football.
He was pulling the Sean Alexander.
Yeah, like he didn't. He
got his money, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Now it's a wrap, and now they gotta bite the bullet, eat all that money, and start all over again to try to find
another quarterback.
And try to find another quarterback. And the other thing I want to get down on, I don't know if y'all have seen these reports, because congratulations to Tom Brady, minority owner of the LA Raiders. But what comes with that is now you have restrictions of what he can say when he's calling the games. So now it's like all that money he got from Fox, I think it's a one and done deal, because when you listen to him calling the game on Sunday, it was trash because he can't say certain things.
It was dry.
Extremely dry, because he can't say things. He can't on this team, or this guy should go on this team, or this guy will go here. He can't make those type of statements anymore, because now he has ownership in an NFL team.
Conflict of interest. Right.
Yeah, it's an extreme conflict of interest. So I feel like, at the beginning of the season, I was enjoying Tom Brady commentating, because he was giving us a lot of insight in the game. He was pointing things out. and he knows the game. But now he can't talk about it. So Fox.
So Tom Brady did Fox like Deshaun Watson doing Cleveland Browns.
And that's why I got down on both.
You know what I
You
mean?
see that? You see what I did right there?
I see what you did. I see what
So
you did.
now
Right
it's one and done because
Yeah.
I can't see them bringing him back next year because he can't talk about anything. He can't talk.
So what would the biggest FU to the NFL be? Tom Brady going back to play for the Raiders?
The biggest FU would be Tom Brady getting even more ownership in the Raiders and turning that franchise around and winning the title in Vegas.
Yeah,
that's the biggest FU to the NFL.
That would be dope.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna get down on my New York Knicks right now. For all of the intents and purposes, it's this game is a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that we can take this one and forget about it and move on to the next. But I also want to get down on the way that the Miami Hurricanes have been perceived. A lot of people want to perceive, a lot of people want to put the cart before the horse when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes. They're more interested in Michael Irvin and how he's palpitating on the sideline and laying
on the ground
and doing all this stuff. When they should be more concerned about how come this team is in a white knuckle game every week.
Yeah.
How come the Miami Hurricanes are turned into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Every single game is oh my goodness, what is going on? You know what I mean? They got to step that up if you want to be considered a real title contender. But in these days and times, anybody can be considered a title contender. And that's
Alabama.
My main focus on what I want to get down on, because again, everything's been watered down. And let me say this real quick. I got Win. He got to get down on it. Then we're gonna get up out of here. Here's the thing, and tonight is a perfect example of why I think when you come down to this thing, everything is overlapping, and we're all confused, and we're all short, and we're all lacking in what we're doing as far as bringing sports to you. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this behind the scenes. The WNBA ended last night.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA started tonight.
Uh-huh.
You got the World Series
Friday.
You got the NFL
Thursday.
You got college football
Saturday.
You got NHL
every day.
Like, it's too much.
It's
college basketball is getting ready to start
next week. Oversaturation of sports. It's too much.
It's overkill, and I feel like it's kind of watered itself down. And the only reason why they're doing it and everything is overlapping, like we said when we first started the show, it's for the cash rules everything around me. That's why everything is overlapping. We can't keep up. We can't keep up because one season's over, the next season get ready to start. Next thing you know, the season that just ended is get ready to start again. Like, what the hell is this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Wink. What you getting down on, B?
I want to get down on politicians in sports.
The views expressed by Win Walker or Down in Sports Talk are not expressly, the rest. You know how it go. Send your emails up. Send your emails to that guy.
To me. We don't need the orange man.
Don't make me mute you, man.
Hey, we don't need the orange man at the Pittsburgh Steelers game with AB and Bell. They do not play for us anymore. They do not play for us.
We're walking a snap.
That's funny.
Hey,
I totally forgot about that.
This is not the place for you to come with your little cronies. AB does not play for us. He's not part of our organization. Bell is not part of our organization. I'm just keeping it real. And Orange Man, nobody saluted you, clapped for you, or anything when they said you was in the building. You didn't get a big hoorah or nothing. You've been
nobody cared, right?
Yeah, you've been in Pennsylvania for 6 months now, and you got shot there. You done got this and that. Hey, allegedly shot.
You know how we get down in PA? You know how we get down in PA?
Ketchup gate. But anyway, ketchup gate. We don't need you to come to the sports venues to be seen or heard, because then nobody care. We worried about what's going on that field. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to get down on all these commercials that I'm seeing. Y'all might not see them in y'all's area. For this pay-per-view of Mike Tyson and this little man, I'm so tired of seeing this.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, I'm tired of seeing these commercials, and they spent all this money on this commercial with these two dudes, and Mike Tyson, you look terrible. Put your clothes off. Keep your clothes on. This is really, this is like he said. It's all about this.
About to jump the shark,
it's all about this. I'm really tired of us sports fans want to see sports, not comedy. Okay, and that's another thing. Hold on. When even in the NCAA, we come to watch the NCAA game, not who's on the sidelines at the Texas-Oklahoma game.
Oh my God, yes.
We don't want to see KD and Vince Young and the man that left
Matthew McConaughey and
everybody at the Texas game.
Come on, man.
And that's why they lost. And that's why they lost.
Man, come on. We don't want to see stuff like that. We want to see what's going on the field. This is not a place for stars and political people. Y'all keep that at home. We see y'all enough. We came to see these college players play and these pro NFL players play. That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all trying to turn football, baseball, basketball. Well, basketball being that way, like a Laker game. You know, you got all the people on the front row. Next thing I'm gonna see is Jack.
It turned into a beauty pageant.
I'm gonna see Jack. I'm gonna see Jack at the LA Dodgers against the New York Yankees game, sitting in the bleachers behind home plate. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have a special place for Jack right there. Come on. And the camera's gonna keep zooming. That's what I want to get down on.
All right, so we got down. We got down on it. We gave y'all 2 hours. We stretched it out tonight. We're about to get up out of here. Don't go nowhere. All right, we'll talk to y'all next week, man. We're gonna end it like that, man. Peace. Down in Sports Talk. We out.
Peace.
Peace. Oregon's #1.